We are in actual discussion with something called knowing about try cache blocks and all. Just want to explain continuation of that. Okay, I just want to explain continuation of that. Let me open the document first. Actually, yesterday also I have written the statements in the same document. That's why I'm opening the same. And today also write in the same document as well. Okay. So basically, when we start our discussion yesterday, we got about how to write the try catch finally blocks. And suppose if there is an exception occurs in try block, for example, at some line, the below lines are not executed, and the control will be immediately jump to the cache block, right? So, for example, if there are 5 lines of code is there in try block, the number of the try block has 5 statements, okay, and there is an exception occurred at line 3. What happens if exception occurs at line 3? Control will directly jump to the cache block without executing line 4 and line 5. Okay, that's what I told in the last class, right? And when we are writing try and cache blocks, suppose we have single try block, right? One try block can have multiple. Okay, one try block can have multiple cache blocks. So at the time of writing the multiple cache blocks, there is some discussion is going on this, right? I'll explain what the discussion here. See, let's say, for example, I want to create a new Java project and saying that project name is something called as exception test. Just, I mean, we are not writing any program here. Just we want to see how to write the multiple cache blocks for a single try block. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and see. Uh, let's go ahead and see. So there is something called as exception test. Okay, so just I want to explain about how do we write multiple cache blocks and what is the correct way of writing them and what's the wrong way of writing them. Let's say, for example, we are creating a new class, and the class name I want some package name is com.ashok.it.oop. Okay, some package name, it could be any name, it doesn't matter. And suppose I'm writing one class called as main. Okay, there is a main method. So here I'm writing one more class above this main. Suppose class A, and inside this I'm writing a method called m1, and here you can see, sorry. Okay, here we can see. Suppose we have a class called class A, and also we have some method which is called m1. And here we go and we'll start discussion on how to write the multiple cache blocks. Let's say, for example, just for example, I'm writing try block, and before I start writing the try block, I'm just creating one array, integer array, arr equal to new int of 5. Just I'm creating one array. Okay, the array variable name is arr and it is of size 5. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, now here I want to start try block now. No further, just try block. In try block, what I'm writing is int x is equal to 5 divided by 0. Next I'm writing arr of 5 equal to 50. Okay, arr of 5 equal to 50. Now look at this now. If you look at these two statements, the first statement is int x is equal to 5 divided by 0, and the second statement is arr of 5 is equal to 50. Okay, now for example, after that I simply wanted system.out.println x. print the value of x. Then again I wanted system.out.println ARR of 5. Okay. Now I have a question to all of you guys. Could you tell me from line number 7, at line 7, do you know what type of exception? What is the name of the exception? What is the exception? What exception is going to occur at line number 7? Could you tell me what exception will occur at line number 7?
Arithmetic exception.
Yeah. So here at line number 7, we are going to get an exception called as arithmetic exception, because we are writing 5 divided by 0. Divided by 0 means if you divide any integer value with 0, then we are going to get arithmetic exception. What exception? Arithmetic. Do remember, if you divide an integer value with a 0, this is called a numerator, this is called denominator, right? Numerator, denominator, both are integers only. Na? We have 5 divided by 0. Okay. 5 is an integer value. 0 is also one integer value. You're dividing an integer with integer and where a denominator is 0. Then what type of exception will occur? Arithmetic exception. Do remember everybody. What exception will occur? Arithmetic. Arithmetic exception will occur here. Okay. Next, at line number 8, what type of exception will occur? Line number 8.
There is no exception. Goes
Line
in.
number 8, what type of exception may occur?
Array index out of bound.
Array index out of bounds exception will occur. What is the name? Array index out of bounds exception. Okay. Why? Because what is the size of the array? 5. As you know, when array size is 5, array indexes are from
0 to 4.
But actually, what I am giving here, ARR of index 5. If array size is 5, then we don't have index called 5, right? What's the last index of this array?
4.
What's the last index of this array? 4.
4.
Starting index is 0, last index is 4. Start index is 0, last index is 4. Right? But what is the index I am using here? 5. What type of exception occur? Arithmetic.
Arithmetic
But
exception.
from try block, see, for example, at line number 7, if there is an exception occurred, if line number 7 has an exception, immediately from line number 7 only, the control will jump to which block?
Cache.
Catch.
Am I clear with you? Yes, from line number 7 directly the control goes to what? Cache block. Then what? Okay, then what to understand here? Line number 8, 9, 10, these 3 statements are executed or not executed?
Not
Not executed.
Not executed.
Tell me from this try block now, which exception will be thrown?
Arithmetic
arithmetic.
exception.
Arithmetic exception, not array index out of bounds exception. Why?
First
Because
statement is
exception is occurred also at line number 7.
7.
If exception occurred at line number 7, control doesn't execute line number 8. That's why we don't get array index out of bounds exception. Which exception we will get?
Arithmetic
Exception. Let's see. I'm writing catch block. Catch. What exception I'm writing? Arithmetic exception EX. Observe here. System.out.println. I am in. Okay, I'm just writing arithmetic exception catch block. Just to see whether which exception catch block is executed. Arithmetic exception catch block. Next, one more catch I'm writing. Can we write multiple catch blocks like this? Yes. Array index
Out of index.
bounds exception. EX. Everybody. System.out.println. This is in which catch block I am? Array index.
Out of index.
Array index out of bounds exception. Out of bounds exception. Catch block. Just to see whether which SOP statement is printed. That's it. Are you clear now? Right. See, this time I'm writing try block and catch block. For one try block, how many catch blocks I'm defining? 2 catch blocks.
2.
I can define multiple catch blocks, no problem. But I'll tell you who is the correct, what is the correct way or the wrong way, that we'll discuss next. But for one try block, we can define multiple catch blocks. Okay, good. What about finally block? If you really want finally block, you write, otherwise you can leave it. Finally block is not Compulsory.
Not required.
Finally block is not mandatory block. Did you get my point, everyone? Online folks, am I
Yes.
clear with you? Finally block is not a mandatory one. It's not compulsory. If you really need finally block to do some final task, I mean to do some kind of closing the connections with the databases or closing the files or any other kind of stuff, releasing some objects, that you write in finally block. If you don't have anything, no need of writing finally block. Okay.
Cache block is also not mandatory.
Sorry,
Either cache block or final block.
sir, I didn't get you.
Cache block is also not mandatory.
That we'll discuss next. I'll come to that point later. I have not completed entire exception handling. Na? That we'll discuss next. Okay. Currently, whatever we discussed is try, catch, and finally. In that, what I am telling is no, finally block is not compulsory. If it is needed, you write it. If you don't need the finally block to do any operation, simply avoid it. Okay. Now for try block, what I am writing here, 2 catch blocks. Okay. Just this is what I want to say for my example currently. This is M1 method. This is class A. So first I will create object. First I want to create the object of class A. Class A, CA is equal to what? New class A. Then I want the CA.M1. I want to call the method M1. So I'm calling the method. How do you call the method? With object name only. Na? Who is the object here? CA. CA dot what? M1. This is a way of calling the method. Now let us start writing. Sorry, let us execute the program. Let's start executing the program. See, which exception class block cache block is printed? Arithmetic exception cache block. Why not array index out of bounds? That's what I'm saying. If exception occurs at line number 7, immediately from line number 7 only the control jumps to the nearest cache block. Who is the nearest cache block? The first cache block only, na? Right. First control jumps from line number 7 to the first cache block. For example, this cache block I am writing on top. Control X, Control V.
Specific cache block.
Okay. Then tell me which cache block will be executed. What's the output now? Could you expect what's the output of this code from this M1 method? Can you tell me what is the output of this?
Arithmetic exception.
Okay. What about the other guys?
Arithmetic exception.
Yeah. JP is saying arithmetic exception. But I am asking what about you guys, other guys? What is the output you are expecting?
It will search first specific exception.
Okay. Anybody else? Could you tell me what output you are expecting? Okay. Suja is saying first cache block will work. Okay. Next, anybody else wants to say some answer? Guys, make it fast and tell me. Are you ready to tell any answer for me, or do you want me to say the answer? Okay. Look at this. I will tell the answer. You don't worry. See here. This is line number 7. So tell me, when line number 7 is executed in M1 method, what exception will occur here at line number 7? Line number 7. At line number 7, could you tell me what exception is going to occur here?
Arithmetic exception.
Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Yeah, arithmetic exception occur here at line number 7. Whenever exception occurs at some line, what about control? What about the control? Will the control go to the next line and will execute the below statements?
No, it jumps.
Will the control execute the below statements, remaining statements? No.
No, sir.
Control directly jumps to the nearest cache block. Who is the nearest cache block?
Array index.
Always control goes to the nearest cache block only. It doesn't matter whether it is arithmetic exception or some other exception. First, always it goes to the nearest cache block. Nearest cache block. This is the nearest cache block?
Yes.
Yes. But tell me, this cache block has a parameter. Now the control checks what is the parameter of cache block. What is the parameter of cache block?
Array index out of.
Array index out of bounds Exception.
Exception.
But what exception is occurred actually?
Arithmetic exception.
So the control, okay, the control first will check that this catch block can handle only array index out of bounds exception. So it is not a suitable catch block. That's why now the control is jumping to the next
Next
catch block. Is jumping to the next catch block. Tell me in this catch block also, first what control checks? Okay,
Array.
parameter. What's the parameter of this catch block? Arithmetic exception. What is the exception occurred here?
Arithmetic
Arithmetic
exception.
Both are matching. Both are matching means then control identifies that what this is the suitable catch block. This is the suitable catch block. So this catch block will be executed. Let's see. Let's see whether it's executing like that or not. Am I clear? See what's the answer? Arithmetic exception catch block. Okay, good. So what to understand here? Whenever if any exception occurs in try block, first where does control jump?
Nearest class.
Nearest catch block. Nearest means first one only, na? Simply it jumps to the first catch block. And it will check the parameter. If that catch block parameter is not matching, okay, then control jumps to the next catch block. That's what answer. Okay. How many catch blocks I defined here? 2. 2 catch blocks. Okay. For example, here I am writing 5 divided by 0.0. And 0.0 means we are going to get output in double, na? Double x is equal to. Okay. If you take line number 7 now, in try block, we have the first line double x is equal to 5 divided by 0.0. What is the line number here? 7. Tell me, is there any exception at line number 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
Arithmetic.
Yes.
Is there any exception at line number 7? Could you tell me somebody in online?
Yes.
Could you tell me?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have any
Yes, sir.
exception at line number 7?
X
Yes, sir.
equal to infinity.
Yeah. Answer is actually at line number 7 we don't have an exception. This is not called arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception will occur when you divide an integer value with 0. If numerator and denominator are integers, and if the denominator value is 0, then you'll get arithmetic exception. But here numerator is integer, but denominator
Float.
double, then there is no arithmetic exception in Java. This will give result as infinity. What's the result here? Infinity. Infinity is the result. Infinity. Okay. Suppose if you want to show me, what I will do is I will add this line in comment, this line also in comment. Okay. Remove the 2 lines here, means comments. Tell me how many lines are there in my try block? Make it fast, guys. Yeah. How many lines is there in try block?
2.
2 lines are there. How many lines of code is there? 2. There are 2 lines of code. What's the first line? Double x is equal to 5 divided by 0.0. Okay, what's the next one more line? System.out.println of x. I want to run this program. See, we are not going to get any exception. What is the x value now? What's the value of x? Infinity. Infinity. If I say system.out.println of x, what is printed? Infinity will be printed. It is a special value in Java. Infinity will be printed. What's the result?
Infinity.
What's the result? Infinity. Infinity. Now again, guys. Denominator is 0. Numerator is 5.0. This time, who is double? Who is the decimal point value?
Numerator.
Numerator. Denominator 0, but numerator 5.0. It is double. So tell me in this case also, what's the result we are going to get? Infinity. What is the result we are getting? Infinity. Okay. If a numerator or denominator, if any one is a decimal value, and if you divide with 0, then what are you going to get?
Infinity.
Infinity. Infinity. If you look at this 5 divided by 0,
Integer.
5 is an integer value. 0 is also what?
Integer value.
Am I clear with you?
Yes.
Now you are dividing integer value with integer 0, then what will get?
Infinity.
Arithmetic exception. What is that? Arithmetic exception. What we are getting? Arithmetic exception. So did you understood about when we will get arithmetic exception?
Yes, sir.
In online, did you understood about when we will get arithmetic exception? Could you tell me when we will get arithmetic exception?
Yes.
Okay, when we will get the arithmetic exception?
If denominator
If
and
numerator and denominator are integer values
And divided by 0.
and you are dividing with 0. If a denominator is 0, then you will get what? Arithmetic exception. If a numerator or denominator is a double decimal point value, then what's the result? Infinity. Okay, cool. Leave it. Now back to the point. I am removing these comments. Please understand me. Tell me now. In try block, we have line number 7. Tell me in line number 7, will you get any exception?
no.
No. Just now we discussed, so we don't get exception. What about line number 8? Will you get any exception?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Tell me what happens if exception occurs at line number 8. Could you tell me what exception is occurred at line number 8?
Index out of box.
Array index out of
Array
bounds.
index out of bounds exception.
Exception.
Array index out of bounds exception. Did you understand now? If we're at ARR of 5 equal to 50, could you tell me what exception will occur? Array index out of bounds exception occurs. Tell me if this exception occurs, where does control jump? Nearest cache block. Who is the nearest cache block? First cache block only, na? Yes.
Yes.
Tell me this cache block, what's the parameter of the cache block?
Array index out of
Array
bounds.
index out of bounds exception. So both are matching, na? Yes. This
Yes.
cache block will be executed. If this cache block is executed, will the control jumps to next cache block also?
No.
No. Okay. Remember, if there are 2 cache blocks now, how many cache blocks will be executed at a time? Only one.
One.
Okay. Suppose if this cache block is executed, then control doesn't jump to next cache block for execution. It doesn't go
Yes.
for next cache block. That's also a very important point to know, right? Okay. There are 2 cache blocks now. Already first cache block is executing. Then tell me, will the control jump to second cache block next? No.
No.
It will go to next finally block. Which block?
Finally.
Finally block. But I don't have any finally block now. Comes out.
Yes.
This method is closed. This method is executed. Okay. There are 2 cache blocks now. Tell me, both will execute or only one will execute?
Only one will execute.
One will execute. Only one will execute. That is also very important. Am I clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let's run this answer. See this, we are getting array index out of bounds exception cache block. Am I clear with you? Right. So these are all the points I have explained just now, but I need to write all these points and I need to copy this code. Okay. Will do.
Sir, but what about that infinity? It will not work.
Sorry.
Here now, when you have executed the program, only array index out of bound exception came, na?
Yeah.
Infinity answer is not there.
No. I told yesterday, that's why with a diagram also. If a exception occurs at line number 8, where does control jump?
Okay, it directly goes to exception only.
Directly goes to
Cache
the
block.
nearest cache block. What about the below statements?
Below statements will be not going to get executed.
That's why you are not getting any output.
Yes. Okay, sir. Got it.
Let me write all these points. So yesterday I told you that for a single try block, we can define multiple cache blocks also. That's what this example line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that I have written. Okay, but here I'm writing the continuation point I'm writing. First, I want to add the date so that you people can identify that this is today's concept. Date 6th July. Okay, 26th July. Now let's start. Guys, everyone, let's start. What we want to discuss here, I'll tell you. What we want to write or what we want to discuss, I'll tell you. The point is, today's point is today's point is okay. Even though we write multiple cash blocks, but only how many cash blocks will execute at a time? But only
One.
one
One cash block.
One cash block will execute at a time. Only one cash block will execute at a time. Okay. When exception occurs in try block, okay, guys, when exception occurs in try block, tell me first control jumps to
Nearest
jumps to the nearest
cash block.
cash block. Control jumps to the nearest cash block. If the parameter of that cash block is not matched with the exception occurred, then control jumps to
Another cash block. Next
the next
cash block.
cash block. Did you understand me? Next cash block. But how many cash blocks will execute at a time?
One.
Only one cash block will execute at a time. Don't feel that both are executed. Only one will be executed, not all. Okay. Example. Let me copy this example code. You practice it today. I'll delete this. Okay. On.
Sir, what is the use of writing multiple statements in try block if only one statement is going to get executed?
No, see, you don't know, right? Actually, you don't know really exception is going to occur or not. There is a suspecting, that's it. This is my total logic.
Okay,
For
okay.
explanation, I am giving this type of statements
Okay, sir.
to explain you that this is first cache block, this is second cache block, only one will execute. For that, actually, you are not writing code like this. No, you are writing some other logic here. Maybe you are writing the code for transferring the money from account 1 to account 2. That type of logic you are writing here. For example, I'm telling, for example, writing Java logic here, not like double X and in array of 5. This is for just explanation. Okay.
Sir, can we write multiple try blocks?
Multiple try blocks means that is called nested try block. That will come next.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
I'll tell you. Don't worry, but first think up to what we discussed. Okay. So this way we are just understanding the concept. That's it. Just a minute. Okay, guys, I just want to copy this code. And now here we want to, just discuss here. What we want to discuss here at line number in the try block, the first statement of try block doesn't have any exception. But the second statement in try block will have an exception. That's why the control jumps to the nearest cache block. Who is the nearest cache block? First one. Then it check the parameter. What's the parameter here? Are the array index out of bounds exception. What is the exception occurred here?
Array index out of
bounds exception only. Am I right or not? Right. So
yes.
could you tell me what the output of this code? What is the output of this code? What the output we are getting here? Output is what?
Array index out of bounds.
Array index out of bounds exception. Out of bounds exception. Cache block. That's output you are getting. This is output you are getting, guys. Okay. Next, we'll go ahead. Next, one more thing. Okay. Just want to decrease the font size so that we can get output also in the same page. That's good. Okay, now then we are getting the array index out of bounds exception cache block. Output, this is output. Next. Look at the next point, guys. So we have now we will start discussing something. Now I wanted 3 cache blocks. Cache, exception, ex. System.out.println of ex. System.out.println of exception cache block. Tell me how many cache blocks I have? One try block is there, but for one try block I have
3 cache blocks.
Okay. Last cache block. See, last cache block has parameter. What type of parameter it has? Last cache block has a parameter of type exception. The parameter type of last cache is what? Exception. You know, exception is a superclass for. Exception is a superclass for
All
classes
exception.
in, all exception classes in Java.
Checked.
For checked exception classes and even for unchecked exception classes. Who is a superclass?
Exception.
Exception is a superclass. Am I clear with this point, guys? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Observe here. Suppose if you look at our code at line number 7, what type at line 7, what type of exception we are going to get?
Array index out of bound exception.
Array index out of bounds exception. Tell me immediately. Control jumps to
Nearest cache block.
nearest cache block. Who is the nearest cache block from line number 7, guys?
Array index out of bound.
Line number 11. Okay. What is the type of exception in this cache? This cache has what? Array index out of bounds exception. Am I right? This cache has array index out of bounds exception, right? Good. Good. Tell me now, is this cache block parameter is matching with the exception?
Yes, matching.
Yes. Why not matching? What type of exception is occurred here?
Array index out of bound.
Array index out of bounds exception is occurred. Tell me what's the cache block parameter also?
Array index.
So both are matching. This cache block will execute now.
Yes.
I told if this cache block executes, will the control jumps to next cache block like that?
No.
It will not.
It will not jump because even though you have 3 cache blocks, but how many will execute at a time? Only one will execute at a time.
Only one will execute.
Okay, next I will go ahead. I will explain the next point. See here, guys. Everybody understand? This is ARR of 4 is equal to 50. ARR of 4 is equal to 50. Everybody, do you find any exception?
Errors?
Do you find any exception in this try block?
No.
Do you find any exceptions in this try block as per your knowledge?
No.
No,
No.
because this statement is correct. This statement also correct.
Yes.
No exception. So these two are SOP only, na?
Yes.
Yes.
So these 4 lines is valid.
Correct.
These 4 lines doesn't
Valid.
have any exceptions now. Currently, am I clear?
Yes.
These 4 lines of code doesn't have any exception. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Good. Now look at this. I'll remove new int of 5 from right side. Okay. Okay, this time I'm getting error. ARR of 4 is equal to 50 means I'm getting compile time error at line number 7 and line number 8. Okay. So I will do one thing. I'll keep new int of 5. Now there is no error now. Here I am writing. Just observe it. I am writing string str is equal to null. System.out.println str.length. Tell me how many lines of code is there in try block. Try block has how many lines of code here? Try block has 6 lines of code. Okay. Tell me in the first 4 lines of try block, do you find any exception?
No.
No.
No. No, we don't have exception. Line number 10. Do you have any exception line number 10? Do you have any exception line number 10? That's what my question is.
Yes.
At line 10, do you have any exception?
Oh, no.
Answer is no. Just what I'm doing in line number 10, I'm creating one string variable. What is the variable name? str. I'm assigning the value null. That's it. I don't have an exception in line number 10.
Yeah.
Comes to line number 11.
No.
In line number 11, I want to print the length of the string. You know length already in string concept?
Yes.
Yeah. See, what's the value of str? What's the value in this str object?
Null.
Null. Okay, this object has null. This object has a null value, and you are calling the length method to find the length of the string. Right? You cannot perform any operations on the null object. You cannot
Yes.
perform any operations on the null object. It is called null object because the object contains which value?
Null value.
Null value. Okay, did you get my point? The object is null.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When the object is null, can you perform any operations on the null object?
No.
Mhm.
No. Understand? We cannot perform any operations on the null object.
Null.
On the null object. Did you get my point, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Everyone. Means I'm asking the other guys also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So now at line number 11, null pointer exception will be raised. Which exception is raised here?
Null point exception.
Null pointer exception. From line number 11. Of course, line number 11 is the last line in my try block. In the try block, do you have any next line?
No, sir.
No. Try block has the last statement as line number 11 only, na?
Yes.
But tell me from here, control jumps to where?
Nearest cache block.
Nearest cache block is first cache block only, na?
Yes.
Folks, other folks, could you give me some reply?
Yes, sir.
Other folks, could you give me some reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The control jumps to nearest cache block only, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me. What is the parameter of this first cache block?
Array index out of bounds
Index
exception.
out of bound exception.
Array index out of bounds. But what is the exception occurred actually? What's the exception raised?
Null pointer
Null
exception.
pointer
Null point
exception.
exception is raised. We say the word raised. Okay. So from line number 11, null point exception is raised. First control jumps to the nearest cache, the first one. What's the type of what is the parameter type?
Array index out
Parameter
of
is array
bound.
index out of bound. Both are not matching.
Not
Yes. So
matching.
the control jumps to
Next cache block.
next cache block. Next cache block. Tell me next cache block has parameter what?
Arithmetic
Arithmetic.
exception.
Arithmetic exception. But what the exception occurred here?
Null pointer
Null
exception.
point exception. So both are matching or not matching?
Not matching.
Again, not matching. That's why next again control jumps to next cache block.
Next cache.
Yes.
This is the last one here.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what's the parameter here?
Exception.
Null pointer
Exception.
exception.
What is the exception? What is the exception raised in the try block? What's the exception raised?
Null pointer.
Null pointer exception.
Tell me, is a null point exception is matching with this type exception?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because
Yes,
exception
okay.
is a superclass for our parent
All
class
the-
for both
all
checked
the
exceptions and unchecked
unchecked.
exceptions. It is matching
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Now tell me which cache block will execute now out of these three?
Exception
Exception.
catch block.
Exception, the last one, correct? Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. Could you tell me what the output of this code?
Exception
catch block.
No,
Exception cache.
exception occurred at line number 11, right? But at line number 8, there is one SOP. At line number 9, there is SOP. These statements are displayed, na?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What's the value of X displayed?
Infinite.
Infinity. What's the value of ARR of 4 displayed?
50.
50.
50.
So what's the output now? Infinity,
Infinity.
50,
50.
And exception.
exception, cache block. You got output here? Infinity,
50.
50,
Exception.
exception, cache block.
Four.
Did you understood about this example code here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Everybody, are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, are you clear with this? Okay. I want to copy this example for you to practice. I want to copy this example for you to practice. Could you tell me what is the output of this code? Could you tell me what the output of this code?
Infinity.
Infinity,
50.
infinity,
50.
50,
Exception catch block.
Exception catch block.
Exception catch.
nice. Now again, listen to me clearly. Good, sir. Next now. See the same example, guys. I'm just giving the same example. Everyone, I have written totally how many cache blocks here? 3. Okay. Tell me arithmetic array index, out of bounds exception, arithmetic exception. These are called specific exceptions cache block, no?
Yes.
Because this cache block can only handle
Only
array
specific
index, out of bounds exception. This cache block, second cache block can only handle
arithmetic
arithmetic exception. But the last cache block it can handle
all
Any exception. All
Any-
exceptions.
any
all
exception.
specific.
It is capable of handling any exception.
Hmm.
Right? Cool. I have a question. Suppose if arithmetic exception is occurred, which cache block will execute now out of these 3? If arithmetic exception occurs in try block,
Nearest cache block.
there are 3 cache blocks are there, na? Suppose this is int. This is 5 by 0. Tell me now. At line number 6. At line 6. Could you tell me what will occur at line number 6?
Arithmetic catch
Guys,
block.
what occurs here?
Arithmetic
Arithmetic exception. Occurs, na? At line
Yes.
number 6. Tell me, where does control jump?
Arithmetic. Nearest cache block.
Nearest cache
it
block.
is
Who is the
one.
nearest cache block here?
array index
Array
of
Array
index
index, out of bounds exception. Okay, very good. Tell me what's the type of exception here? What's the parameter of cache here?
Array index
out of
out of bound.
But what is the exception raised?
Arithmetic
Arithmetic.
exception.
Both are not
Matching.
matching. Then the control jumps to
Next catch
No.
block.
next catch block. Who is the next catch block? Second.
Arithmetic
What's the
exception.
type here?
Arithmetic
Arithmetic
exception.
exception. Is it matching?
Yes.
Yes. both
Yes.
are matched.
Then this catch block will execute now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Then tell me, will the control jumps to next catch block also?
No.
No.
No. I told you, even though you read 3 catch blocks, how
Only
many
one
will
catch
execute
block
at a
will
time?
be executed.
Only one will be executed, na?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Cool. My next question to you. Okay, I'm changing back to previous code. Double x is equal to 5 divided by 0.0. Guys, suppose I'm writing this catch. Control X, cut. Control V, paste. I'm writing this at the top now.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Then you see, I got error at line number 16 and error 19. Line number 16 has an error. Line number 19 has an error. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You got line 16 has an error. Line 19 has an error. Do you know why?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they are
Because
not
it's
going
a,
to get
Exception have
executed.
the super class. It have all the exception.
Now
it's a
question is,
generic catch block.
yeah, in this try block, any exception occurs from any line of code. If exception occurs, could you tell me where does control jump?
Exception.
First catch block.
Where does
Exception.
control jump? Control jumps to where?
First catch block.
Nearest catch block.
Nearest
Nearest
catch
catch.
block. Nearest means first one only, na?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Tell me, this first catch block has a parameter. What's the type of the parameter?
Exception.
Exception. Tell me, exception is a superclass for
All the class.
all
the
exceptions,
exceptions.
All
all
ticket
exceptions
class.
in Java, right?
Yeah.
Which means this catch block is capable of handling
Every exception.
every exception.
Multiple exception.
If the first catch block is capable of handling every exception, then control will never jump to
Next catch
So
block.
catch
the next
block.
catch block, like array
Even-
index out of bounds, or the next catch
We
block,
need to write
arithmetic
the
exception. Control will never
That's
reach
why
to
we
these
can-
catches, right?
yes, sir.
That's why we are getting error. Compiler is saying that this is unreachable code. If you keep the
Only-
cursor on that error, you can see a tooltip, a message otherwise. You see the message. What's the message?
Unreachable catch
Unreachable
block.
catch block for array index out of bounds exception. It is already handled by the
By the
catch block
Catch
for
block.
exception. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, is this the correct way of writing the catch blocks?
No.
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 So what is the correct way of writing the multiple catch blocks? So what is the wrong way of writing the multiple catch blocks?
Specific catch blocks first.
First, we can write a specific
Catch block for specific exceptions followed
Specific
by catch block for
exceptions.
exception
All
exception.
is valid, but reverse is invalid.
not.
Valid.
Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear with you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please understand. Please understand. Okay. This is wrong. This is error. I am writing the same point. This point is very, very important. I'm putting multiple stars and writing the point. It is very important in an interview. That's why I'm just writing multiple stars. Okay. What is that? Writing catch blocks for specific exceptions. Okay, writing the catch blocks for specific exceptions, then followed by catch block for exception. Writing catch block for specific exceptions, then followed by catch block for exception class is valid. But what is that? But writing catch block for exception class, then followed by then followed by cache blocks for specific exceptions is a compile time error. Did you understand my point, guys? Is this statement is clear for you, everyone? Is the statement is clear for you, everyone? Online folks, could you tell me, is the statement is clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Good. I don't want to copy the entire code, but I want to copy these try cache blocks, for example. For example, the below code is a compile time error. The below code is a compile time error. The below code is a compile time error. Sorry, all these dots. Leave it. The below code is a compile time error. I just want to decrease the font size. This is a compile time error. So here we have try block. Okay. The code you can understand, but okay. I just want to format the code so that you people can. This is the first cache block. Now this is the second cache block. Then this is the last cache block. Okay. Just this is a code. You want me to remove that dots and all, we can remove. Why? Formatting came. But anyhow, we can remove those dots, don't worry. Okay. Nice. So this is going to give you compile time error. Okay, because first one is a cache block for exception, but remaining all the cache blocks for specific exceptions. Is this allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. This will give you compile time error. Am I clear with this now? This is the example for that. Now I will go with explaining the continuation things. Now again, listen to me, guys. Okay, I want to tell you now displaying the exception. I want to tell you the displaying exception is the next point, guys. Okay, this is all clear. So I just want to wrap up this code and I don't want to write this str.length and all these things. I just want to remove them. And this cache block also, I want to cut. Okay. And of course, I can paste at the bottom if I want. Otherwise, I can remove it. I don't want that cache. Everybody, this is int x equal to 5 divided by 0. Tell me, guys, tell me, at line number 6 now, as usual, we are getting one exception at line number 6.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is the exception we are getting, guys, at line 6?
Arithmetic exception.
Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Then tell me, what is a message that I can see on my console? I mean, on my screen, what output I can see if I run this program?
Arithmetic exception.
Arithmetic exception, colon,
Catch
catch
block.
block. This is my own SOP statement, na? Right.
Yes.
Actually, understand, if you want to print the details of actual details of the exception, this is my own message, right? A user friendly message, correct? So, but my intent is actual message. I want actual message also, we'll see. So to display the actual details of exception, there are 3 ways of displaying the actual exception. Let me show you first one. System.out.println of ex. Okay. This is the exception object, na? What's the object name?
Ex.
Parameter ex. This is an exception object. If I print a system.out.println of ex, the exception object, it will print the exception class name, then also prints a message. Let's see. See the output, guys. First, you will understand nothing is there. Tell me what the output. First of all, see the output and tell me.
Java.lang.
Java.lang is the package name. What's the default package in Java which is imported into a Java program?
Java.lang.
Java.lang. What about your classes like a string class, now exception class, runtime exception class, object class, string builder, string buffer, null pointer exception, runtime exception, throwable? All these classes are from which package only?
Java.lang.
Yes, these are all from Java.lang package. These are all from what? Java.lang package. Java.lang is a default package. Means you no need to import the Java.lang package. You no need of importing the Java.lang package. Okay, cool. Tell me, what is the message? What is the details displayed here? First, exception class name, colon, some message, right? What's the message? Divided by
0.
0. Observe here. I am keeping this in comment. Now I am writing this. System.out.println ex.getMessage is a method. Who is ex first of all? Ex
Object. Arithmetic exception is object.
Arithmetic exception. Of type arithmetic exception. This is a parameter, na? Okay. What type of parameter? Arithmetic exception. Nothing but this is the exception object. Ex dot, what's the method I'm calling?
Get message.
Get message. Now this will display only the message. See the output. Now tell me, what's the difference between the previous output and the current output? Could you tell me?
Yes. Java.lang.x.
Guys, previously we got output is what? First exception, class name. After that, colon, exception message. What's the message?
Yes. Divided by
Divided by
0.
0. But this time,
Only message.
only message. Tell me, I want to display only the original message of the exception. Then tell me which method I have to call?
Get message. Exception.
Get message.
Get message.
Okay. Get message method of exception I need to call. Next. This one also I'm keeping in comment. The next one, ex dot print stack trace. So this time which method I'm calling?
Print
stack trace.
trace.
I'm calling this method. I'm not writing SOP, just I'm calling ex dot print stack trace. Okay, I'm directly calling the method print stack trace method. Okay, so see here I'm calling get message method. Get message method returns me string. Get message method returns what? This method get message returns a string value. To display that string value, I'm adding which statement? SOP. But a print stack trace method, return type void. which means it doesn't return the value, it will directly print. It only prints. We know of writing SOP. Okay. So there is a method called print stack trace. This is important method. Now see the output now. This is a different output. I'll explain. Now you will see you got some more lines of output now. Online folks. Folks in online. Did you get the point? Online folks, did you get the point?
Yes.
Everyone? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I got a doubt actually when nobody is responding. I got a doubt. Okay. Could you tell me now? Could you tell me? This time we are getting more lines of output.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Line number 6 and line number 28.
Yeah. See, this is actually called as this information. Whatever we got is called as. I'm just maximize this information. Whatever we got is called stack trace of the exception. What is it?
Stack trace of
Stack trace. Otherwise, we say another way is cascading form. What form?
cascading form.
Cascading form or cascade. What may be. This is stack trace of the exception. Which is also called as cascading form of exception. Any word we use. See, this cascading form has different parts, guys. It has different parts. Everyone. See the first one in the first line. What is this exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. This first part is there, na? This is called exception class name. This part is called what name?
Exception class name.
Exception class name. Am I clear, folks? Online folks?
Yes, sir.
That part is called exception class name. Is everyone okay? Aksh, Bhagyesh,
Yes, sir.
JP, Ketan, Samir, Suresh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me some reply, na. Otherwise, I have a doubt only 2-3 people are listening and remaining are not listening. Because every time they are only telling answer, you are simply sitting silent. Okay. Look at this. Okay, please give me response. Okay, then only I can understand. Now, otherwise, how can you are not in front of me? Then how can I able to know that whether you are in sync with the class or not? Otherwise, my energy also get wasted. Right. Observe here. So this first part is called what? Tell me, everyone. This first part is called what? Unmute your mic, everyone, and tell me.
Exception class name.
This is called the first part, whatever is there. This part is called dash.
Exception name.
This is called exception class name. Exception name or exception class name, whatever it is. Arithmetic exception is a class, right?
Yes.
Yes. What about this now? Okay. What about this divided by 0?
Message. Get message.
This is called message.
Yes.
This is called message.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Understand again. Tell me. Understand, everyone. Tell me. First, which method is called by JVM?
Main one.
Main.
Main method.
Main method is calling which method next?
M1 method.
M1.
M1 method of class A. M1 method of class A. Okay. Understand clearly. M1 method of class A. Now this is called method call stack.
Method call stack.
Method
Call
call
stack.
stack. What is this called? Method
All stack.
Call
call
stack.
stack. Method call stack. Okay. Tell me first which method is called by JVM? Main method. Main method is
Main.
calling
Class
M1
of
method.
M1 method.
M1 method.
M1 method. Simply M1 method. This is called method
call stack.
call stack. Now see the line numbers. Tell me main method is calling M1 method from line number
28.
28.
28.
28.
Oh.
Okay. In M1 method, exception
Line
is
number
occurred at
6.
line number
6.
6. So tell me, first tell me exception occurred at line number
6.
6. Tell me M1 method is called from line number
28.
28. So tell me this information has 4 parts. Could you tell me what are the 4 parts? First part is
Exception.
Exception
exception
class.
class.
Class name.
Second part is
Message.
message. Message, exception message. Third part is method call stack. This
Call
tag na?
stack.
Method call stack.
Call.
Fourth part is line number. What number?
Line number.
Line
Line
number.
number.
Then tell me, print stack trace method will give us detailed information about the exception.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So suppose as a programmer, if you want to know the detailed information about the exception, then tell me which method you have to call to print the
Print-
exception
Print
details.
stack.
Print stack trace.
Print stack
Print
trace.
stack
That's why
trace.
mostly Java developers use that method only. Which method?
Print
Print
stack.
stack
Print
trace.
stack trace.
Trace
Print stack
method.
trace. This is called stack trace of the exception. It has how many parts?
4
Four
parts.
parts.
4
What is the
parts.
part of the 4?
Class exception.
Exception class.
Exception class.
Message. Exception
Number one.
message.
Exception message.
Exception
Get a
Method
class
message.
name.
Line
two.
number.
Message.
Message.
Exception message. Message.
Exception
call stack.
Number 3.
Method call stack.
Method call
Method
stack.
Call
Method
stack.
call.
Call stack.
Call stack.
Line
Number
number.
4.
Line
Line
number.
Line numbers. These 4 details are there. Tell me finally, how many ways are there to display the exception
Stack
details?
trace.
No,
Three ways.
3 ways. To display the actual details of an exception, how many ways are there?
3 ways.
3
Three
ways.
ways.
are there. One is system.out.println of exception object.
Exception. Yes.
Second,
Yes.
system.out.println of exception message.
Dot
Which
get
method you have to
message.
call?
Get
Get
message.
message.
Get message. By calling get message method. Get message returns only.
Message.
Get message returns only the message,
Message.
divided by 0. Only message, right? Third,
Yes.
third way,
Print stack.
calling
stack
the print
trace.
stack trace
Print
method.
stack
Call the
trace.
print stack trace
Stack
method. Total
trace.
how many ways are there?
3 ways.
3 ways. Let me write these points. Sorry, let me write these points first. I want to write these points now. Different ways of displaying
Exception.
the exception details. Right? Tell me how many ways are there?
3 ways.
3 ways.
Yeah. There are 3 ways to display the actual details of the exception. An exception. Okay, what are the 3 ways now? Number 1. Number 1, system.out.println of exception object. Okay, what it will display? It will display
Display.
exception
Exception
class
class
name
name.
colon message.
Message.
Second one is system.out.println
Out
Out
dot
dot
println.
of
Get message.
ex
Ex
dot
dot message.
message. What it will display?
Only message.
It will display only message. It will show otherwise anything. It will display only message. Only exception message.
Exception class name.
Okay, na? Exception class name colon message. This will display only exception message. What the third one? Ex dot
Print trace, extract trace.
what it will do?
Exception class
It will
name.
display, it will display stack trace of an exception.
Of the
And let's
exception.
separately. Could you tell me what the stack trace of an exception contains?
Exception class
Stack
name.
trace of an exception has 4 parts. How many parts? 4.
4 parts.
What are the 4 parts?
Exception class name.
Exception class name,
Class name
Exception
and
message.
message.
exception message,
Method call stack.
method call stack.
Line number.
Line number means location only, na? Okay.
Yes,
Location of
exactly.
exception. Okay, no problem. Line numbers only later. Okay. Okay. Line numbers of exception. Did you understood this for today? I want to stop the session here.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Did you understood this session today? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. We will further continue in the session tomorrow. Okay. So, for example, just for example, only for you to understand, if I write only these exception class name, message, and all, maybe you will get a kind of not that great. Okay. So that's why I just want to write. I want to do one thing. I want to copy this try block for your example reference. First, I want to copy this. I want to decrease the font size as well. Okay. Here, I will also write output so that you people can at least identify what is the stack trace of exception. Now, this is going to be the stack trace of exception. Okay. This is only for your information, guys. Okay. So here you can see now this is class name, this is message, this is the method call stack, these are the line numbers. Cool. Okay. Right. Now just wait a minute, guys. I'll share these notes with you. I think yesterday also I got to share. Today I'll share it now. Okay. So then we will continue further in tomorrow's class. Okay. First I'll share these notes with you.